Hello and happy Monday, everybody. Here's what's coming up tonight on News Center Now.
Is the defendant guilty or not guilty of murder? The defendant is guilty of murder.
It took a jury less than an hour to find Luke Tiemann guilty of murdering his wife.
It's heartbreaking because anybody that rode a bus that played hockey is feeling that emotion right now.
He wore a Humboldt Broncos jersey as a teen, and now as a high school coach, it's hard to comprehend this weekend's deadly bus crash.
Rallies on two sides of the heated gun debate, but the opposing groups have more in common than we realize.
This is News Center Now.
I just hope that he gets the help he needs and finds the forgiveness that he needs in life.
Luke Tiemann could spend the rest of his life in prison for murdering his wife and burying her in a shallow grave behind his parents' house. Hello, everybody. I am Lee Goldberg.
And I'm Katie Ortiz in for Lindsay Mills. We'll have more on that in just a moment. But right now, we're going to take a look out at I can't even talk today. Monday. We're
right.
taking a look outside with Jessica Conley because it's kind of cold.
Yeah, it's
as nice
cold,
as it
right? And bright, but cold today. That is for sure. Still pretty bright out there right now. It's been breezy too, just still staying cold. But finally, good news, we will have a warm up at least by the end of the week. Mostly clear skies means plenty of sunshine. But again, it's been windy going throughout the day today too. Right now, temperatures for the most part upper 30s and lower 40s. All right, usually, to put this in perspective, usually at this time of year, we're in the low 50s for highs. So about 10 to 15 almost degrees below normal right now. Currently, it's 35 in Bangor, 35 too in Bar Harbor. Rockland, you're at 37. Portland at 42. Lewiston, 38, and it's 36 degrees right now in Augusta. So chilly temperatures plus the winds about 10 to 15 miles an hour in most spots. Those wind gusts a little bit higher, more like 15 to 25 miles an hour. So it is making things feel very chilly out there. Current wind chills feels like 26 in Bangor. Look at Greenville, feels like 13 degrees right now, feels like 31 right now in Wiscasset. So as we go overnight tonight, few clouds move in, not too much going on for the day tomorrow. We'll see increasing clouds as we go throughout the day, though. A couple snow showers. So sick of talking about snow. A couple snow showers possible in some of the mountains as we get into tomorrow night, and then it clears out for the day on Wednesday. Temperatures warm up by the end of the week. We'll talk about that in just a little bit.
All right, Jess, thanks. And more news now. One of the junior hockey players killed in a Saskatchewan bus crash was misidentified by the coroner's office. Today, leaders of the Canadian province apologized to the parents who believed their son to be alive and the parents who thought their son was dead. Now, in the original coroner's report, Humboldt Broncos player Xavier Labelle was among the deceased, but in fact, Labelle is alive and Parker Tobin died in the crash. Both are 18 years old. Just yesterday morning, a GoFundMe page was started to help Parker Tobin with his recovery and medical costs. No word yet on what will happen to those funds. Now, as for the cause of the crash, investigations are still ongoing. Officials say a semi-truck T-boned the Broncos bus where two highways intersected 20 miles north of Tisdale, Saskatchewan. 14 were reported dead at the scene and another died at the hospital on Saturday. The driver of the semi was not injured. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police are looking into the incident. Lee?
Now, while the world watched in sadness and disbelief, the deadly bus crash touched so many people in and out of the hockey community. For a couple of Canadians who now live in Maine, the story hit very close to home.
The team are still in hospital.
As word traveled about the tragic bus crash in Saskatchewan over the weekend, the hockey world rallied. NHL arenas around North America were filled with tributes to the Broncos. Calgary Flames goalie and South Portland native John Gillies was one of hundreds of pro athletes who took to social media to express support for the Humboldt community. Closer to home,
It was pretty devastating.
Dan Lucas is currently the boys hockey coach at Cheverus High School. Before that, he played for the Maine Mariners. Before that, he played junior hockey for the Humboldt Broncos.
A lot of fond memories. I still have my hockey jacket that I have hanging up downstairs in the basement when I played on that team. It's just part of my history.
Brad Church also played junior hockey in that area. The former Portland Pirate was hit especially hard by the news.
I don't personally know anybody that lost a life or their families, but I spent the weekend just the bus rides and sitting there, And
For kids growing up in Canada, those long bus rides are a rite of passage, a sign that you've made it, and never a place where you had to worry about anything bad happening.
it's every little boy's dream, to have your face frozen to the window at 2 in the morning, going from Regina to Moose Jaw. Yeah, it really is. And for these young guys, it really was a sanctuary. It was a safe place, no matter, if you missed mom or you had a bad game or coach had you in the doghouse. When you climbed on that bus, you had 20 brothers.
There was a GoFundMe page set up to help the families of the victims in the bus accident. At last check, donations totaled just under $6 million.
Wow, that's incredible. All right, now back to the developing story outside the Skowhegan courthouse. Luke Tiemann couldn't stick to one story when his wife was reported missing, and he admitted to lying to police. Today, a jury found him guilty of murder. First, he said his wife left him for another man, abandoning him at the Skowhegan Walmart. He told police and News Center Maine's Samantha York in an interview that he just wanted Valerie to come home. But when her body was found, he told police that Valerie died of a heroin overdose. He could not explain the gunshot wounds, which a medical examiner identified as the cause of death. Now today, a jury decided Luke was the man who pulled the trigger.
Yeah, Samantha York's been following this case from the very beginning. Sam, how did Luke react when the jury finally revealed his fate?
Well, Katie Lee, he really didn't respond at all. It took jurors less than 45 minutes to come back with that verdict, and when it was read, there was no emotion on his face whatsoever.
All right, thank you very much. So we also want to ask you this. So the state called multiple witnesses, including Luke's brother and a woman who claimed to have had some sort of relationship with Luke. So what witnesses did the defense call?
So the defense actually only called Tiemann to the stand. That was despite them urging him not to be called up. But yeah, just him. And on Friday, he gave his version of the story, but did admit to jurors that he gave multiple stories to police. Couldn't really figure out which one was true.
Sam, the decision came down from the jury really quickly.
Yeah, it was. And the state says it's because they had a very strong case. However, Tiemann's defense does plan on appealing the decision because there was no forensic evidence presented.
We certainly saw that Valerie's family was in the courtroom today. Are they confident that the police, and the courts got this right and they did find her killer?
Yeah, they do. And they're glad that their daughter finally has justice. When that verdict was read, Valerie's dad had the biggest smile on his face. I'm actually going to have more from them, as well as a lot more from the trial coming up later on News Center Maine. Back to you guys.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sam. Still to come on now, gun control advocates in Maine refuse to let their calls for action die out as pro-gun rallies organize across the country. It's coming up next.
And this is a conversation happening right now on Facebook Live, because with all the news of data breaches and information sharing, how much of your personal life do you guys share actually online? Join us right now on the Facebook live stream. We will chat about that.
Coming up tonight on 207, some people have an image of judges as being kind of stern and aloof. Not Lee Softly. We've got a lively conversation with Maine's Chief Justice. And music from Anna Rose tonight on 207.
The discussion around gun control in the wake of Parkland, Florida massacre certainly shows no signs of stopping. Just a few weeks after the March for Our Lives, 2 more rallies are scheduled for the coming weeks in our state.
And one is called a pro-Second Amendment rally, and the other is a walk-in against gun violence. Christina Rex spoke with leaders from both rallies today and joins us now with what she discovered.
Lee and Katie, while gun control is believed to be one of the most divisive issues in our country right now, you might be surprised to learn that people on both sides of this issue have more in common than we realize.
This is Sammy Potter. He's a Yarmouth High senior, a former intern for Senator Collins, and plans to participate in an April 20th walk-in for gun control.
I think young voices are the ones that need to come to the forefront, and I want to be part of that.
This is Omar Andrews. He's a USM student and a veteran who will also be at the walk-in. This is Dave Gulya. He owns an AR-15 and is passionate about protecting the Second Amendment. He's organized a rally for law-abiding gun owners on April 14th.
It's too long that the law-abiding majority paid the price every time there's a tragedy.
We asked these three men, who come from the two sides of the gun debate, some of the same questions. First, why rallies? For all three activists, the answer is about visibility.
I think that's just a good way to show numbers.
So that we are putting these faces so that you can see that these people, again, these are people that you see in the grocery store. These are people that might coach your child's sports team. It's not the boogeyman.
There's something very tangible and physical about organizing together in the streets.
Next, are they willing to meet in the middle of the issue? All three say yes.
I actually reach out to a lot of other veterans that I served with, very conservative leading guys, and we talk it through, and oftentimes we agree on more things than we don't.
What kind of changes can we make so that the criminals don't get to do whatever they want? Meanwhile, the law-abiding people are left helpless.
Nothing mutually exclusive about wanting to keep our kids safe and wanting to keep dangerous weapons out of the hands of unstable people. That's mutually exclusive from protecting the Second Amendment. Both can exist. Both should work together.
Now, those three activists I spoke with say they want their voices from here on the ground taken to the State House and to the Capitol. They say they want to see that middle ground reached now by lawmakers who can make change. Now, that pro-Second Amendment rally is on April 14th in Augusta. That USM walk-in is on April 20th in Portland, and you can find more info about those on our websites and our mobile apps. Katie and Lee.
All right, Christina, thanks so much. Facebook CEO called before Congress.
We don't rein in the misuse of social media, none of us are going to have any privacy anymore.
The Zuck is on Capitol Hill trying to assure senators and billions of Facebook users that personal information is safe with him.
And Jessica will be in to let us know if, well, what is that? Is that a 7?
Hey.
What? All right, I'm totally watching weather. It's coming up.
Flip-flops are on.
A Facebook post turned into a double homicide confession. Police say a 22-year-old man in Tennessee admitted on the social media site to killing his mother and friend. He described the shooting in detail. Police searched for him all of yesterday afternoon and into today.
Officials in Mississippi confirmed this morning they found the alleged killer's body. Reports say he died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, this is just the latest killing to be documented in real time on Facebook. About a year ago, a man fatally shot a stranger on Facebook Live. Facebook was also forced to confront a string of suicides streamed live on the site. Now, more than 1 billion people log on to Facebook every day, and that kind of following in the age of instant connection and data mining puts a huge social responsibility on the tech giant.
Yeah, and Facebook is kind of struggling with the weight of that responsibility, especially after millions and millions of people have had their information compromised.
87
Mark Zuckerberg is on a kind of an I'm sorry tour right now, so we have more on that from NBC's Liz McLaughlin.
Mr. Zuckerberg, are you doing enough to protect your users' privacy?
Questions on Capitol Hill as Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg met one-on-one today with key senators in advance of his testimony before Congress starting tomorrow.
If we don't rein in the misuse of social media, none of us are going to have any privacy anymore.
In a 7-page prepared testimony, Zuckerberg acknowledges problems of misinformation, election interference, and data privacy, saying, "We didn't take a broad enough view of our responsibility, and that was a big mistake."
Lack of transparency, lack of awareness of exactly how your data is used is a key issue. I know Mark is definitely going to address that. I'm pretty sure Facebook is going to put processes in place to sort of alert users better.
The company started rolling out a notification today to all Facebook news feeds that can let users view and limit the information accessed by third-party apps. Facebook is also informing the 87 million users who might have had their information shared with Cambridge Analytica, a data mining firm affiliated with the Trump campaign.
Just if you get a notice today that says you weren't affected, you should assume you were affected by someone else doing a similar kind of thing.
As Facebook battles the biggest privacy crisis in the company's history, the pressure is on Zuckerberg to convince lawmakers his social network can protect user information. Liz McLaughlin, NBC News.
Okay, so we've kind of talked about this over the last few weeks, and I don't know if I have the old fuddy-duddy opinion on this, but I really feel like if you put something out on your social media, you should assume it's going to get taken by somebody at some point. So you should be, now I know some people are all trusting and throw it all out there. I've never operated that way. I've always assumed that if somebody will be able to get to everything. So if I don't want it out there, even though if I think it's private, I don't put it out there.
So you would think about that now, but I've been with Facebook since the beginning of time, so using TimeHop, which is also a third-party app that might have my data, you see your posts from like high school, and I was really dramatic, so you realize like
so
how
different
much,
now.
digital diva. Well, it just makes you think like, wow, why was I so quick to complain all the time or do this? Like, it's personal stuff,
Yeah, thankfully Facebook for me didn't start till I was in college, so not that I was like super smart then either, but yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, if you don't want someone else to see it, just don't put it on Facebook. Don't we always talk about that?
If you want if you think something is private, you want to know what private is? Me showing Katie something between the two of us, this is private, right? Everything else, not so much. So
totally agree.
Just saying.
Let us know on our Facebook live stream right now. Ironically, tell us on Facebook if you'll share more on Facebook.
If you're willing, right now. If you're willing to do it. All right, what do we got?
Let's talk about the weather. So it's still a little chilly today, but we have a warm up on the way. That's good news. Where's my round of applause or something for that? We're talking about 60s, maybe even some spots making it close to 70, maybe by the end of the week. So right now, temperatures are on the cool side, 35 in Bangor, 37 in Rockland, still talking about 30s, 42 right now in Portland. It's been windy today too, so of course it's felt even colder than that, but at least it's nice and sunny. Fairly high pressure in place that's keeping us nice and bright, but it is chilly out there too. This is the next system that will move our way. It looks kind of scary here, but really we'll just see a few rain and snow showers as we get into tomorrow night. So let's go through the day tomorrow. Temperatures starting out on the cool side again, most of us in the mid to upper 20s tomorrow morning, a few 30s and a few teens up north. As we go into tomorrow afternoon, we warm up. Most of us will make it into the low 40s tomorrow. That's about it. We'll see increasing clouds going throughout the day tomorrow as well. And then as we get into tomorrow afternoon and evening, again, you can see a few snow showers in the mountains, possibly a few rain showers during the day tomorrow as well. Then as we go into the day on Wednesday, this system moves out. We'll see a few clouds around for the day, but temperatures will be able to warm up a little bit more for Wednesday. So there's some more good news. By Wednesday afternoon, I think we'll actually do a little bit better than this, making it into the mid to upper 40s, maybe even a couple 50s closer to the coast and in southern Maine for Wednesday afternoon. Check out the temperature trend though. I think you're going to like this one. By Friday and Saturday, we're talking about the potential for 60s, far southern Maine, away from the coast. Maybe one of these days could make it close to 70 degrees. So that's some exciting stuff. Looking ahead, Thursday and as we get into Friday, we'll see one round of precip move through. It looks like mostly rain for us. And then during the day on Saturday, it really depends on where this warm front sets up. It's right about here. It looks like it'll go through about the southern 1/3 of the state. That's where we'll really warm up. The farther to the north the warm front is, the more warm air will be able to move into the state. And then on Sunday, we cool right back down again. So here's a look at your extended forecast. Again, kind of a gradual warming trend as we head into the end of the week. No big storms, but a couple snow showers as we get into tomorrow night for the mountains, a few rain showers everywhere else. Then the same situation again for Thursday into Friday, just a couple rain showers here and there overnight. It's Friday that we should warm up quite a bit, especially in southern Maine. On Saturday, southern spots could make it into the 60s. Northern spots on Saturday look like they'll stay on the cool side of that front, unfortunately, but
Sea Dogs
pretty
coming
good.
home into the week for their home opener.
There we go.
So Friday,
Perfect.
Saturday, Sunday, be nice.
Yeah, they'll like
good
that.
job.
Good.
All right, you win.
Thank you.
We like you again. Thank you. All right, so this is from the Wow, Does This Make Me Feel Old department, which is pretty much every day around here. A Mainer who we first started covering here at News Center back when she was a teenager is now a mom of twin boys, and they are already so very popular. Sarah Marshall Ryan, who played basketball at Macaulay High School, then Boston College, announced yesterday that she and her husband, Atlanta Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan, had brought home their twin boys after what was a complicated pregnancy.
Now, Sarah says she was put on bed rest on January 9th, and after the babies were born, they spent some time in the neonatal intensive care unit, I can talk today, in Atlanta's Northside Hospital. Now everyone is home, happy and healthy. Oh, look at the little panda bed.
It's certainly been, a busy couple of months, but we're really excited to, obviously I have two sons at home, and they're getting big and strong and healthy, and Sarah's doing great. She was amazing throughout everything. So it's been a wild ride for us, but well worth it. Well worth all the time spent over at Northside Hospital. So we're excited, and you know, just busy now, trying to get these guys big and strong.
Now, one of the boys is named Marshall and the other is named John. Sarah's father happens to be named John Marshall. Both he and his wife, Susie, are over-the-moon excited grandparents. Congrats.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, other news now. Airlines have been in the headlines lately for a number of mishaps, like dragging paying passengers off the plane, rumors of price hikes around Delhi hurricane evacuations, and dogs that died or were lost in the air. Not good.
I know, kind of sounds like tabloid headlines there. But despite all that, airline service quality ratings are up. According to the latest airline quality rating, the overall airline experience is getting better for most travelers. On-time arrivals were slightly lower last year, with 80.2% of airlines on time, but the report also found fewer complaints from passengers. The top airline performances include Hawaiian Airlines with the best on-time arrival and Delta bumping the lowest percentage of passengers. Southwest had the fewest customer complaints and Spirit did the best job handling bags.
All right, News Center 5:30 coming up next. Rob Caldwell with a sneak peek. Hey, Rob.
Hi, guys. Coming up in the next half hour, the story of a police dog that was on the job until the day she died. She stood by her partner, helped track down numerous suspects in murder cases, and she was honored today with a funeral. Her story of courage and service is coming up. Also ahead, proficiency-based diplomas. Was that idea one big mistake? Lawmakers are considering rolling back the new education mandate before it can even take effect. Those stories and more all coming up on News Center at 5:30.
All right, Rob, thank you so much. More now after this.
All right, so I was chatting with our director, Jeff. He was skiing up over the weekend.
Shocker.
always
Right.
Shocker,
Yeah, beautiful weather to ski, and we have so much snow left on the ground. But three things work against you this time of the year because you might actually get a sunburn. The first is the sun angle, which is actually equivalent to September 3rd. So that means anything you're doing outdoors, you can get a sunburn in maybe only a half hour, 40 minutes. The second thing, and this is the key to getting a sunburn while you're skiing, is that snow reflects 80 to 90% of the UV rays that come in from the sun, unlike the bare ground. The bare ground has what we call a low albedo, kind of holds in the heat. The snow reflects it right back up because it's the color white. And the elevation, as you get higher up, there's actually more and more UV rays that come in. It increases by about 5% per 1,000 feet. So put a little sunscreen on around the goggles.
I think I'd rather get a sunburn if I were to get a sunburn on the beach,
Yes.
not on the ski slopes.
You and me both. They call it a goggle tan, by the way. There's a term.
As seen on Keith Carson, I'm sure.
Yes.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
News Center 5:30 starts right now.